Welcome to What's Your Story? Each week, I bring you a guest who's authentic, genuine, who will share insights and practical information that you can put to use right away. Today, we're visiting another one of life's little mysteries, the healthcare system. Today, it's about how to improve it, believe it or not. My guest today is Dale Keshishian, CEO and founder of HealthWorks Academies here in the Delaware Valley, and she addresses this challenge in a very interesting way. So, Dale, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Charlie. Pleasure to be here.
I have been a fan for a long time.
Thank you.
You're doing great work, and I'd love the audience to learn more about it today because I think you're making a difference.
Thank you.
And that's important. And we want to get a sense of what makes you distinctively different today. So, explain to the audience, what is HealthWorks Academies?
We are a talent development pipeline program for the healthcare industry. So we work with high school students in grades 9 through 12, introduce them to a broad range of health science careers, and develop talent for next generation industry professionals.
So is this a for-profit business?
We are a nonprofit.
Oh, really?
We are a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. And we are designed as a national program, but we're starting here in the Philadelphia region.
So in this whole healthcare system, we hear horror stories of pieces that are wrong with it. So what is it?
Sure.
What are the problems that you address with HealthWorks Academies?
Well, we looked at several statistics. We have an aging population. You know, we have 10,000 people a day turning 65.
Wow.
And not only the baby boomers, but the millennials are also an even bigger generation. And so this greater percentage of seniors is going to continue for a long time. People are living longer, but the demand on the healthcare system is greater.
Okay.
At the same time, we have a growth in chronic disease. So diabetes, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, stroke, are all increasing the demand on the healthcare system. At the same time, we have a cost trajectory that is currently at 18% of GDP and continues to grow. We can't afford that kind of trajectory. And we have workforce attrition. We have our professionals aging out. For example, 33% of the nation's physicians will reach retirement age by 2020. We're only a year away.
So now I get the idea of the pipeline you're talking about.
Right, and at the same time, if we look at the careers that students are going into from high school, they're going in from these STEM programs in high school, but a steep downturn in students going to STEM careers in college. So it doesn't bode well for the healthcare industry.
So it sounds to me like a one-size-fits-all solution isn't going to work.
I don't think so.
Tell us a little bit about your solution. What are you doing with these students, if you will, at an early age?
Well, what we found most is that the industry has changed so fast that students, parents, counselors really don't know how to guide their students for emerging careers or careers that are in demand. And so when you think of healthcare, when I go into a school, typically the awareness of healthcare is doctor, nurse, dentist, EMT, phlebotomist. Oh. And they really don't think of all the myriad of industries and possible career options because they just don't know. And so, but at the same time, in the last 30 years or so, we've told students, children, from the time that they're really little, that they must go to college. And so what happens is they get to junior, senior year in high school, they need to pick a college, but they have no context for what they might do. And in the healthcare industry, it's changing so quickly that there are many, many careers that are either don't have a pipeline or current careers that are not going to be filled. And so we come in as an intermediary to create an awareness and a pipeline to serve the industry.
So it sounds like an opportunity, as much as a problem. Problems give way to opportunities. So what other kinds of approaches are out there, and how are you guys different?
Well, one example is the American Academy of Medical Colleges has a pipeline program.
Well, it's a pretty reputable organization.
It is, and it's an accrediting organization for medical schools, for the allopathic medical schools. And they have a list of pipeline programs around the country, and they vary in quality, but mostly what we see are where high school students as a cohort are met with either medical students or professors from the medical school to talk about careers in medicine. No problem, except that it's a program, and if you're not providing the academic support and the career mentoring and the shadowing over a long period of time and tracking where these students are going, then the effort we feel is insufficient. So we looked at what pipeline programs look like in the industry, and we said, we think we can do it better. So what we did was we created a comprehensive STEM curriculum that is approved in 48 states, specifically for students going into the health sciences. It's inclusive of problem-based learning, so it teaches critical skills and problem solving within that curriculum. And social and emotional learning, which is so critically important in education. We have a professional development component where we train teachers, counselors, and administrators in the school. The teachers deliver the content. And then we get our students out of the classroom and into the workplace. So they're shadowing careers in clinical medicine, biopharma, medical devices, healthcare IT, health policy, public health, research, education, finance, and behavioral health.
And how long do you stay with them? You mentioned it.
We stay with them from high school through graduate school.
All the way through graduate school, so you may pick them up in what, freshman year?
Ninth grade.
Oh, wow.
So our curriculum is for a cohort of students who want to go into the health sciences, but they may or may not know what they want to do.
Right.
So academically, we're with them for 4 years, and career shadowing. As students start to align on an industry, usually around 11th, 12th grade, we pair them with a mentor.
Got it.
So our industry mentor serves two purposes. Creates someone to go to for selecting courses and selecting a college pathway, but also for informing them of emerging trends in the industry, career opportunities.
Seeing around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we have to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
We have sponsors that need to be heard.
Okay,
All right, so we'll be right back with you.
great.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Dale Keshishian.
Choosing Medicare coverage can be a very confusing and complicated process. Help is just a phone call away, 856-226-4800. As a licensed insurance agent, I'll assist you in making an informed and confident decision on a Medicare plan that meets your needs, lifestyle, and budget. Call me today for a free, no obligation Medicare benefits consultation, 856-226-4800.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it. Hip hip hop.
Casinos by the ocean.
Hip hip hop.
Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches. Solid rock. And everything in between.
Look in the window.
Now that's New Jersey.
Burlington County College.
Is now Rowan College of Burlington County.
Still the same great faculty.
At a community college ranked top 50 in the nation.
Basically, we earn more and pay less.
RCBC students are accepted at Rowan University after graduation.
And get a bachelor's degree for around $30,000. Online and Mount Laurel students get a 15% Rowan University tuition discount.
And have many scholarship opportunities.
So you earn more and pay even less.
Rowan College of Burlington County.
Your path to success.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to strengthen our service members? What does it take to let them know that we stand behind them, wherever they are? What does it take to bridge the distance? and keep them connected to family, home, and country? And what does it take to prepare them for their future when their service to the nation is complete? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Share a message today at force.uso.org.
I want to be a contender. I want a warm belly to sleep on.
A big house.
How do I look? Do I look good?
I want to play hard.
My nails done once a month.
I want
a home. I just want a home. I want someone to love.
Last year, more than 30,000 companion animals came to us without homes. 20,000 of them were felines. Let's make some homes together.
Choosing medic.
Welcome back to What's Your Story? Today I'm with Dale Keshishian, CEO of HealthWorks Academies, and she's attacking this whole healthcare problem that we're having in the United States a little differently. What you shared earlier, very impressive.
Thank
A
you.
lot of work's going into this.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always skeptics out there, right? They're going to say, well, who's she? What credentials does she have? So tell us your story.
Yep.
Tell us the sense of the journey, what got you here, why you're so committed to this.
Well,
That's my next question. But tell me about the journey.
Okay. Well, one thing to get clear is I'm not an educator.
Okay.
And so that question comes up a lot, but I am from the industry. And so we see this as a disruptive innovation in education that comes from an industry need.
That's a great way of framing it out.
Thank you.
So where did it all start?
Well, it started, I was a dental hygienist in Boston back when the dinosaurs roamed. But I married a foreign physician. He came here for internship and residency in 1982, and we never left in Philadelphia. And shortly thereafter, he purchased a medical practice that was about 35 years old. And so he was the owner of the practice, and I became the operations manager by default. So it was a steep learning curve. I had never filled out a HCFA form or, didn't know anything about medical billing or staffing or anything.
It was less automated back then.
Well, it was, right. Everything was manual. I did that for almost 20 years. And decided that I'd had enough with healthcare. My kids were in college, and I went to work for a leadership development company and trained as an executive coach in transformational thinking, and worked with some global companies, and it was fascinating work.
I sense there's an aha moment coming.
Yeah, there's an aha moment. One of the things about coaching is that we all had a business development accountability, so we were looking to build client base. And although my sales territory was Houston, my contacts were in Philadelphia. And so a couple of things happened in 2006, and if you remember, 2006 was before 2008.
Oh, yes.
The economy was good, and everything was...
Big bubble.
Everything was good. And David Walker came to Philadelphia. He was the Comptroller General of the United States at the time. And he was doing what he called a 20-state fiscal wake-up tour. And he was talking about the healthcare cost trajectory reaching 24% by 2020 at that point, and what the United States would look like if that were to happen. He talked about the senior population. He talked about the rise in chronic disease, all as drivers, and the role of technology and innovation, but all drivers for increasing health cost. And then how the United States would be impacted and the world that we know, and as far as funding the military and social programs and infrastructure. When you think of 24% of GDP, that's a
You mentioned earlier, we're at 18.
We're at 18 right now,
so
yeah.
The prophecy seems to be unfolding.
It is. Not quite as fast as he thought back in 2006, but it's certainly an unsustainable trajectory.
So he woke you up and made you aware.
He did.
So something else happened, I think.
Something else happened. A couple of weeks later, I was at a full-day seminar around educating physicians for 2020 and beyond. Given that the aging population is providing more, creates more of a demand on healthcare, the chronic disease, and for the first time at that seminar, I heard that 1/3 of the nation's physicians will reach retirement age by 2020.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I thought, first, that's not true. And then I realized that it is. And then I thought, well, you know, having nearly 20 years of experience in primary care and knowing the patients that we treated so well, I thought, who's going to do the work? And then I thought, well, as an operations manager, my job was to keep the lights on, right? So I thought, well, I just created the scenario. If we had to deliver care with 30% fewer doctor hours,
right,
and 30% fewer dollars, and 30% increase in demand, what would we do? And what I realized is we didn't have the workforce in that kind of a scenario. And that's how this seedling of an idea got started.
Anything else you want to share?
Well, you know, I think, you know, my husband practiced for 25 years.
It's a long time.
And he was a great champion for HealthWorks. You know, he saw the need. He saw that my background in both clinical medicine, operations, and transformational leadership put me in a position to look at it from a unique perspective.
It's great to have that support then.
And then about 5 years ago, he passed away suddenly. And I attribute it to the stresses of working in primary care medicine. We've created a very difficult scenario for clinicians especially. And
I read somewhere that someone compared it sort of like a manufacturing production model. You know, it's all about quantity. We have to push people through the pipeline to do it, and things suffer. And in this case, personal stress.
Right. Well, you know, we've seen tremendous changes in the last 30 years. You know, going from having the time to create a relationship with your patient, understand everything about the things that in their life that's impacting their health care. And now with time constraints and demands on technology and resource constraints, we're really looking at treating illnesses or making sure that we hit a checkbox for all the things that we need to do.
It's almost reactive.
It is, and we're not addressing a lot of the things that are contributing to disease states because we just don't have time. Between the limited outcomes that we're seeing, we're spending more nationally per capita than any other country in the world, but our outcomes are not better. And the cost trajectory continues to rise, and the burnout rate continues to rise. And so I think we can do better in terms of developing a workforce with the critical thinking skills and those leadership skills and diversity in the workforce. We're seeing disparities in healthcare. You know, if you're poor or of color, or
yeah, right,
you know, rural, and you know that you may not have access or equity in the healthcare field.
When we come back, because we have to go to commercials again,
Okay.
I want to talk about this concept of meeting the patient where they are on their terms. You shared that with me before, and I want you to share it with the audience. So we're going to take a break. We're going to be back with Dale Keshishian after these words from our
Coverage can be a very confusing and complicated process. Help is just a phone call away. 856-226-4800. As a licensed insurance agent, I'll assist you in making an informed and confident decision on a Medicare plan that meets your needs, lifestyle, and budget. Call me today for a free, no obligation Medicare benefits consultation. 856-226-4800.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it.
Casinos by the ocean. Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches. Solid rock. and everything in between.
Look in the window.
Now that's New Jersey.
Burlington County College.
Is now Rowan College of Burlington County.
Still the same great faculty.
At a community college ranked top 50 in the nation.
Basically, we earn more and pay less.
RCBC students are accepted at Rowan University after graduation.
And get a bachelor's degree for around $30,000.
Online and Mount Laurel students get a 15% Rowan University tuition discount.
And have many scholarship opportunities.
So you earn more and pay even less.
Rowan College of Burlington County.
Your path to success.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to strengthen our service members? What does it take to let them know that we stand behind them, wherever they are? What does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? And what does it take to prepare them for their future when their service to the nation is complete? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Share a message today at force.uso.org.
I want to be a contender. I want a warm belly to sleep on.
A big house. How do I look? Do I look good?
I want to play hard.
My nails done once a month.
I want.
I want a home. I just want a home. I want someone to love.
Last year, more than 30,000 companion animals came to us without homes. 20,000 of them were felines. Let's make some homes together.
Choosing Medicare coverage can be a very confusing and complicated process. Help is just a phone call away, 856-226-4800. As a licensed insurance agent, I'll assist you in making an informed and confident decision on a Medicare plan that meets your needs, lifestyle, and budget. Call me today for a free, no obligation Medicare benefits consultation, 856-226-4800.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it.
Casinos by the ocean. Now that's New Jersey.
Welcome back to What's Your Story? My guest today is Dale Keshishian, CEO of HealthWorks Academies. And she was just telling us about her journey and what sparked her interest in putting together this company, a nonprofit entrepreneurial organization where she is trying to do well by doing good for others. Dale, why have you chosen to do this kind of work? What drives you? Where's the passion behind this thing?
You know, I looked at the statistics after this experience with David Walker and this conference that I attended that was just so striking, and I thought, what can I do? Mm-hmm. You know, like a rhetorical question. What can I do? You know, this is a national program. Right. You know, what can I do? But then I thought of it as a not rhetorical question. What can I do? I have clinical experience, I have operational experience, and I have transformational leadership experience. If I were to do something, what would it be? I don't have the wherewithal to transform the industry as it stands with professionals, except maybe one-on-one, and I've done coaching with health systems, but that's one-on-one.
Right.
And I'm not in a position to impact post-secondary education at the university level. But I thought, we've got a captive audience in high school.
Right.
And we've told these kids, like I mentioned, from the time they're little, they need to go to college.
Correct.
But they don't have the context for all that's happening and all the careers available in the health sciences. And another thing happened. I asked somebody who was very successful in his field in healthcare, you know, and it's a very unique qualification. And I said, "What was your almost certain future when you were in high school?" And he said, "I was going to be a fireman." And his awareness was happenstance. And I thought, what if we create the happenstance? We create the awareness with industry, and then the academic preparation, and then we create the connection with industry and mentors, and we create the happenstance, and we create not a pipe, but a pipeline.
Got it.
And remove all the barriers for students, whether they're from affluent communities or low-income communities or children of color or children from rural communities, because children of all of those backgrounds come with unique qualifications to provide next generation talent and address social determinants of health and close the barriers to access and equity and cultural competency.
So colleges have these co-op programs, and certain universities are built around that concept. Seems to me that what you're doing is similar, but starting in the high school level to condition them so they know exactly what they want to major in when they get to college, and they'll select a college based upon that being a stepping stone elsewhere.
It's very similar to the model. Our students are not working in the industry per se, but they're shadowing. So they get to see the company, they see the departments, they meet the individuals, see the work product, they learn the academic pathway, they talk about trends in the industry and career ladders, and we shadow on average 40 careers a year.
40? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's diverse. You talked earlier about this idea of meeting the patient at their level in their space. I'm paraphrasing it poorly, but could you? I think this is an important concept.
Well, you know what we've done in the trajectory of how medicine is delivered is we focus on treating we listen to treat the concerns that a patient has. And often what happens is we are not listening to all the other determining factors that may be contributing to their health. And we need to train next generation workforce in communication, ownership of the whole, commitment to excellence, teamwork, all of those competencies that we've reserved for high-performing teams.
That's correct.
But as a practitioner, if you're listening to address these issues, or are you communicating with a patient who maybe speaks English as a second language, or they're sick, or they're scared, or for whatever reason they're not able to absorb everything that you're talking, that you're saying to them, and you're not asking the questions that the workplace, the home life, the relationships, all the other things that may be contributing to a poor health outcome.
Well, we don't have time if we're in that manufacturing process where healthcare seems to be today. We don't have time to do that. And that's where we really get, it's sort of like the question behind the question. We get to a better answer if we can spend more time listening to our patients. It's very intuitive. The best doctors I ever had were intuitive.
But I would argue with it, it's not necessarily more time.
Really?
It's understanding the distinctions in communication means that we can gather better information and create trust and relationship, and it's not an issue of time. It's an issue of learning the distinctions.
So those are topics generally not covered in medical school, is what you're suggesting, or nursing programs?
Not typically, no.
Wow. So that, again, what I love about this show is I learn new things, things I don't know before, now I know, and I'm better informed. Listen, this is the time of the show where you've been helpful to the audience. They've learned today, they know more than they started. So this is an opportunity for you to look into the camera and speak to the audience. You may have something to ask of them or to give to them, I don't know, but time's yours.
Well, our ask is that we partner with industry that's looking 5, 10, 15 years out in your workforce needs, trends in the industry, how to keep your company competitive, and also look at the age of your current workforce, because it's a big surprise when people look and see, gee, my doctors are 30%, are 60 years old, and that's pretty much across the board. And you're looking to create next generation talent, give us a call. We're looking for industry thought leaders that can work with us. We're looking for sponsors. As a nonprofit, we have a sustainable business model, but early stage, we need some seed funding.
Okay.
If you're a school or a system looking to impact grades, retention, graduation rates, college admission, successful career development, give us a call, because we can help you attain better results and student engagement. So
I'm going to throw another one in there, and that is speaking engagements, to have Dale come to your place of business or to your association to talk more about this topic. We're just scratching the surface of this.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for coming on What's Your Story today.
Charlie, thank you so
Dale,
much.
so much. And again, I want to thank you for tuning in today. Next time, I'll have an authentic person with a great, genuine story that will provide insights and practical advice for you to put to work right away.